Ramaphosa has been speaking at the Convention for the National Dialogue at the UNISA main campus in Pretoria today. That convention is a precursor to a series of dialogues which will be taking place throughout the country over the next 9 months. Thabiso Koba reports.
In 1955, South Africans from all racial groups met for a dialogue in Kliptown, and out of that came the Freedom Charter. The Convention for a Democratic South Africa, also known as the CODESA talks, laid the groundwork for the country's move away from apartheid. President Cyril Ramaphosa says the country now faces new challenges, including economic inequality, poverty, and lack of public faith in institutions.
We've chosen to be here because we believe in the power of dialogue and united action. A dialogue, by the way, is not a new phenomenon amongst us as South Africans. We have always dialogued to solve the most intractable problems that have confronted our country.
Ramaphosa says it's also normal to have sections of society boycott the dialogue. However, the show must go on. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Police remain on high alert outside Mabotja Mall in Soweto today following taxi-related violence this week. The tensions resulted in the death of an e-hailing driver outside the mall on Wednesday evening. Mthokozisi Mvelase was shot and his car set alight during that incident. In response, angry community members demonstrated at the mall, forcing it to shut down yesterday over safety concerns. But operations have resumed today with tensions still high. Johannesburg Metro Police spokesperson Xolani Fihla says law enforcement officers are still monitoring the situation.
The roads are currently open for traffic to flow following a closure yesterday, and the mall is operating. Police officials will continue to monitor the situation, which remains calm.
The DA has announced Celia Brink as its Tshwane mayoral candidate for next year's local government elections. The party has concluded what it says was a thorough selection process, and Brink came out as the best candidate for the job. He served as the mayor of Tshwane for 18 months before being removed through a motion of no confidence in September last year. Party leader John Steenhuisen made the announcement at the party's in Pretoria today. Alpha Ramashwana is there.
Celia Brink is a law graduate who served as a member of parliament between 2019 and 2023 before vacating his seat in the National Assembly to return to the Tshwane Council. He was elected mayor through a coalition between the DA and Action SA, but was removed after Herman Mashaba's party shifted its support to an ANC-led pact. When Brink was removed, videos of municipal employees celebrating at the City of Tshwane's headquarters went viral. DA leader John Steenhuisen says Brink is the perfect candidate to drive Tshwane forward.
To introduce to the man, he's got the track record of delivery. I give to you the DA's candidate for the mayor of Tshwane, Celia.
Meanwhile, questions remain over whether Helen Zille will be the DA's mayoral candidate in Johannesburg. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Former State Security Minister Bongani Bongo was back in the dock in the Western Cape High Court today for the restart of his corruption trial. The trial is related to Parliament's 2017 Eskom inquiry. Bongo was acquitted by the same court in 2021 after applying for a discharge following evidence that he allegedly attempted to bribe parliamentary officials to squash the inquiry. But the Supreme Court of Appeal overturned that decision last year. Today, legal teams have agreed that the trial will start afresh in April of next year. Lindsay Dentlinger was in court.
It's been almost 8 years since Bongani Bongo is alleged to have tried to meet with evidence leader in Parliament's Eskom inquiry, Ntutuzelo Vanara, and to offer him an unspecified amount of money to derail the inquiry. After parliamentary witnesses testified for 2 weeks, former Judge President John Hlophe granted Bongo a dismissal for lack of evidence from the state. Bongo made a brief appearance in court today to finalize dates for a new trial. He's the only person to face prosecution in relation to Parliament's Eskom inquiry. His lawyer, J.C. de Jager, told EWN he believes there will eventually be a fair outcome to this case.
We are confident in our defense to these charges, as we were the first time around.
The state says it expects the matter to conclude within 6 weeks from the 13th of April 2026, but Judge Nolotando Nzweni said the court should not bind itself to a fixed duration. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Western Cape High Court.
And in Pakistan, the death toll linked to heavy monsoon rains in the north of the country has risen to 110. The downpours triggered landslides and flash floods across the region. The Weather Service has issued a heavy rain alert for the northwest, urging people to avoid unnecessary exposure to vulnerable areas. The monsoon season brings South Asia about 3/4 of its annual rainfall. This is vital for agriculture and food security, but it also brings destruction. Most of the deaths were caused by collapsing houses, flash flooding and electrocutions. Gold is trading at $3,339.86 an ounce. The rand is at 17.58 to the dollar, 23.84 to the pound, 20.55 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $66.63 a barrel.
Well, at this stage, if you are traveling towards the Benoni area, leaving Brakpan, there's still slow-moving traffic. This is on Rangeview Road between Dube and Tom Jones, while in the south, Soweto, there's also slow-moving traffic. This is in the Protea Glen area on the N12 westbound between the R554 Abu Bakr Drive and the R558.
It's a partly cloudy afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 24 and 25 degrees. The top story in EWN, President Cyril Ramaphosa says South Africa has a rich history of solving some of its most difficult problems through dialogue.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Your vote is not just a click. It's a thank you, a nod, a way of saying we see you. Vote for your favorite local business now on primemediaplus.com.
You're with Relebogile Mabotja.
Live, streaming countrywide
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856
92.7
and 106 FM.
Nine minutes after 2 o'clock, the second and final hour of 702 Afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja. Time for the upside of failure. I hope you absolutely enjoyed that music. But also, before I tell you who's going to be joining us, there's a message here that says, my name is Juno Rainkis, and I'd like to request a short message to be aired to say happy anniversary to my parents, Mark and Gare. They're celebrating their 6th anniversary, and I just want to wish them lots of love and happiness from me. Thank you so much. It's at exactly 7 p.m. Happy anniversary to the both of you. Upside of failure, we're going to be joined by celebrated photographer, South African photographer and creative entrepreneur, Mr. Austin Malema. We take your calls on 011 883 0702, your SMSs 31702, your tweets at Relebogile M, at Radio 702, using the hashtag 702 Afternoons, and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
702.
The upside of failure.
Proof that a setback can lead to a step forward.
The upside of failure. We are chatting to somebody who has captured hearts and famous faces and has done just some fantastic, amazing work, not just for the photography game, but also for the culture. And he's not just a celebrated photographer, he also is a creative entrepreneur and somebody that I'm so excited to have in studio, Mr. Austin Malema. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me. What
every
an intro.
week I'm like, you came. I'm always like, you came.
You, eh?
No, not even. I think sometimes there's still that part of me which is like, do you think they want to come? Do you think, like, it's a weird thing, but I'll always be like, you came. It's like when you host a party, like, is anybody going to come?
Yeah.
So it sometimes feels like that. Firstly, I have to start by giving you your flowers and say, like, I just love the work that you've done. Not just the parts of what you've done for the game, but you've empowered so many young people that have trained under you, whose work is out there. And I think you've kind of set a standard of sorts when it comes to what good photographs need to be used for. It's not just, oh, well, there's a studio and it's pure images.
Yeah.
It's now like that is the day-to-day of what is happening. Can you take us back to, when you were a kid, did you want to be a photographer or
When
you
I-
fell into it?
When I was a kid, I used to take a lot of photos.
Wait, so when you were a kid, was this Kafilimi?
Yes,
Okay.
They're back in the day
Okay.
when they still had to take 2 weeks for you to get your photos back.
Oh, do you remember that feeling for us? I think we were going to OK or something. And then
Yeah.
you would wait. Oh,
Yeah.
you'd rub off the film and then you're so excited to, oh man.
And then you just wait for them to develop the photos, and then you would always wear your Sunday best, right?
Yes.
Every single time they had to take photos of you, you knew hore, today kilo thapa. Not just hore ka thapa. I am extra clean.
And you must shine.
That's it. And they made sure that you got that extra Vaseline for the shine. But yeah, I think for me, that's where it came from, number one. But it's not something that I would say I knew back then, right? I think the bug hit me back then. But then as I grew older, I realized that I want to be in the art space. I wanted to always be in the art space. I wanted to be in entertainment no matter what happened. And then I thought I would get into entertainment as a producer or a director or an actor. At some point I wanted to be an actor. I even auditioned for the NSA twice and I
How
failed.
did I not know you wanted to be an actor?
I failed my audition at the NSA twice.
What?
And then, yeah.
What did you audition to? Like a monologue?
Yeah, it was 2 monologues. I can't even remember which ones they were because I had to audition in grade 8 and 9. Those
Yes.
were the cut-offs.
Yes.
And I didn't make it for both. And then, you know what? I said, I'll go to film school. I will still be famous.
Yes.
No matter what happens.
Wow.
I'm going to be well known at any given point in my life. And then photography became what I got known for because I started photography when I was in second year at AVDA. And that kind of literally took over my life because when I started photography, my whole aim was not even to be famous. It was to hang out with the famous people. Firstly.
Oh.
Yes.
So
'cause
in a strategy.
that's it. Because if you have a camera, you can get into any party.
Yeah.
Like, you need to know.
And now that you mention,
You can. It doesn't
you just
matter.
I'm
I'm shooting.
I'm
and
shooting.
then you just walk in and then nobody bothers you. And then I started shooting famous people, well-known people. And then it just literally opened the door for me to fall in love with photography and really build a career out of it.
At what point, because you speak about having trained at AFDA, I know of videographers and photographers who are trained in cinematic
Arts.
yeah. And I can see the difference. And I know you say this quite often when people are like, what camera are you using? So I want us to talk a bit about the training aspect of it.
Yes, ma'am. I think, you know what? It's very important to have the basic knowledge and understanding of whatever that you want to do. A lot of people think, oh, I can just grab a camera and then I learn on the go. Yeah, that's great. You're going to spend 3-4 months just learning how to use a camera. But when I went to film school, I did not understand a single thing. I knew how to take photos. I knew angles, but I didn't know what the exposure triangle was, how it worked, and how it contributes to the pictures that you take. And the more I learned about it, you learn the theory of how someone made a film and why they made certain choices. And that also influences the choices you make further going on in your own life and in your own practicals, and you just apply it in your own situations. And I feel like understanding the basics is very important, especially when you get the formal training, because someone is telling you this is why you do A, B, C, D, and these are the results of it, right? And a lot of people feel like, it's a waste of time. I also at some point felt like it was a waste of time. I'm like, just give us a camera. Like, I know how to take photos.
Yes.
But then when you learn about it, it helps you understand how to make better decisions for later in your life or for whatever situation that you end up in, because situations are not the same. There are moments where you've got the light and it's amazing. And then sometimes you've got less light. How do you deal with that? How do you counter the fact that if you pull your shutter speed too low, you're going to have blurry photos? You're going to have movement or blur in those images. So you need to actually have the training to be like, okay, cool. If I'm working in a space that is too dark, what can I do? Instead of, pushing my shutter down too low where I have motion blur, what can I do? Can I make the motion blur part of the photo that I'm taking and use that to be like, I'm now creating a more cinematic image compared to just creating a normal image. Now I can make it look like the person is in motion and they're running, even though they weren't.
Yes.
So you use that to, amplify your reasoning, but also to apply the practicals of what you learn in those spaces. And I feel like it's essential for all of us to have their basic, like when I say they're very basic, is how does something work and why do you use it this way? Because then the rest of it is up to your own discretion and what you want to do.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we continue on the upside of failure with Austin Malema.
There's power in a single partner who helps you build a better employee benefits strategy. Begin with retirement, the foundation of securing your employee's future. Now layer in everyday health, mental wellness, and financial balance. And finally, essential protection for life's curveballs, from illness to income loss. Now that sounds like a complete benefit strategy, one that protects your people and powers your business. Talk to us at employeebenefits@oldmutual.com about Old Mutual Corporate's integrated employee benefits solutions. Old Mutual Corporate is a division of Old Mutual Life Assurance Company SA Limited, a licensed FSP and life insurer. T's and C's apply.
Brush, stroke, paint, color, protect, and admire. From roof paint to exterior textures and interior silk, Warrior Paints has it all. The product range and stylish colors are amazing. And what's more, Warrior Paints has crushed prices for incredible savings. Enjoy that good old-fashioned personal service you deserve. For price, quality, variety, and service, Warrior Paints is street ahead. Warrior Paints, affordable, lasting, luxury.
What does extraordinary mean to you?
Is it being voted South Africa's most trusted enterprise telco 2 years in a row?
Vodacom Business helps more than 133,000 businesses with AI, cloud, enterprise apps, IoT, and security. One seamless ecosystem. Together, let's build the extraordinary that sustains today and protects tomorrow. Start your journey at vodacombusiness.co.za. Further together, Vodacom Business.
Diabetes has become the leading cause of deaths in South Africa. Every hour, at least 3 people die of diabetes in this country. This means that in a year, we lose more than 30,000 people to this dreaded disease. This is a silent pandemic which requires active participation by all of us. You may be asking, what can I do as an individual? Limit intake of foods and drinks high in sugar and be physically active. Eat right for a better life. Foods high in sugar, fat and salt can lead to obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease and certain cancers. This message is brought to you by the National Department of Health.
702 was in conversation with Wits University's Professor Andrew Forbes, unpacking how quantum science has the potential to shape South Africa's next wave of innovation and global competitiveness.
The technology we have today, digital technology, digital economy, how important is that to what we do in South Africa? It's essential, right? And what we have now is we're entering a second revolution with a quantum technology roadmap. The idea is that we're harnessing science that's been around for 100 years, but it's science that now we can put down into practical technologies, things that will help us compute faster.
702 in conversation with Wits University. Visit wits.hc.za to learn more.
702.
The upside of failure.
Proof that a setback can lead to a step forward.
20 minutes after 2 o'clock, we continue on the upside of failure with celebrated South African photographer and creative entrepreneur, Mr. Austin Malema. We take your calls with your questions and comments, 011-883-0702 and the WhatsApp line 072-702-1702. We were chatting about training earlier. How do you feel about the many self-taught photographers that have flooded the market, because I know there are the purists and the traditionalists, and then we've got those that are not. And this, also applies in the world of music. The individuals who literally went to study classical, study jazz. The guest we had earlier went abroad to study songwriting. And then you get those who they have a natural eye, so tell me what your thoughts are, because I'm sure there are pros and cons to the situations.
I think there are pros and cons to all of it. I have no issue with anybody coming into the industry and, learning how the industry works in their own way. And I believe that those people learn faster than the people who go to a school. Because when you go to a school, you're kind of shielded and you get taught how things work. And when you are experiencing it yourself, you actually see it firsthand on how it turns out, right? So I believe that those people are very lucky, and they get to also save themselves money, because going to the schools, it's not very cheap, right? But then they learn the practicals firsthand on the application itself and what they need to do, which is really amazing. But I also believe that it's also great to go to a place where there is going to be a guidance for you to learn certain things, because, you may avoid certain pitfalls. Like, I feel like, in music, you understand how to write music better when someone, when you've studied how the greats do it. And sometimes for you to study how the greats do it, you need access to that music, and then the knowledge of how they do it and why they did it a certain way that they did it. And you can't just walk into a room and say, okay, cool, now I know how to write music and I'm going to write my own music. Yes, you can read it, but do you know how to extend the note? Do you know what it means to play a certain note in a certain way, and what it means to the emotion? Because there are certain things that people don't learn about the choices that we make. It influences how you see things, how you feel about certain things. So it's not just about doing it to make a picture. Yes, you make a picture, but you want to influence how the person who sees that picture feels, or what they think about when they see that picture.
And I think the other thing is, there is the version where a person is trained, but they will never have that X factor that is missing.
Yes.
And I look at some of the really brilliant photographers. I'll use Nick Bolton as an example, who has been in the game
for years,
as long as you've been alive, if not more.
True.
And having been photographed by someone like him and yourself, I am able, and I can't tell what it is, but let me speak about it from the subject's point of view.
Yes.
Outside of having the good eye, you also have to have good energy.
Yes.
Because your subject needs to be able to follow your direction.
And also be comfortable in the moment.
Yes. I mean, I probably shouldn't be telling people, but hey, I mean, Nick Bolton has shot me topless.
Yeah.
Now, for me, the pictures are not anywhere. Yes. If you think you're going to go look, you will not find them. But the reason I'm sharing this is to show that, for you to be so vulnerable on camera in front of a person, to do that, the trust that is required, that what you are seeing and what I am doing with my body is translating.
Yes.
And you need to also convince the subject to contort their body in ways that feel unnatural, but on camera,
it reads as something artistic.
Yes. Maybe share with me your thoughts on that.
I think there's a very big thing, and, number one, it stems from professionalism and being a professional first before anything else, because what you do, you're doing this for the return for the client and also for yourself. You're not doing this just to see someone take their top off or in a certain way.
Yes.
And you need to consider that. And I feel like you also learn part of that just by being an individual, but also going to a place that teaches you how to approach certain things professionally. And then there's also the comfortability that you build with your subject, because speaking to people, getting to know why they do certain things, it helps you create better results for the vision that they had for themselves. Because if you want to come and you want to do a topless shoot, I'm not doing it for, yes, you're just going to be topless.
Yes.
I need to understand what you're trying to get out of it. Are you making it as an art? Are you making it as a tease? Are you making it? There's multiple things you need to consider before you just go in and you say, yeah, I'm going to go take a picture of someone with their top off. You need to consider how you're also going to communicate with that person when you are there with them, because now you're going to say something and it makes them uncomfortable. Now you've changed their entire perception into going into that shoot. So there's so many little things and nuances that you need to consider when you get into the space about what the results you're trying to create are and how to communicate it in a way that it still keeps you as a professional and you do not scare the people that you're working with as well. I feel like that's a big thing. And the more you work and the more you understand the reasons for people doing things, and the easier it is for you to communicate with people so that you're able to say, hey, let's chat about your vision first. Let's have a 10-minute conversation about what you want to do, and then we can get into the shoot. Because once you get to know a person, I do this with some of the shoots that I do, depending on if a person is feeling nervous or, they're not certain about what we're doing, we'll speak about the vision, we'll get to know each other, right? And then we find a place where they're comfortable, because when you speak to humans, don't forget, I'm comfortable behind a camera. The next person might not be comfortable in front of a camera, and they're doing it as a professional thing, and they already think, I just want to take 2 pictures and I'm done, right? And in their mind, they're already closed off, right? My job is to convince them that we are going to have a great time when we take these photos, and I'm going to get to know you better. And once you get to know someone better, they open up. When they open up, it's easier for you to now direct them and share your vision of what the photos could look like mixed with theirs as well.
There are so many different types of photography, and I think the older I've gotten, being a good photographer does not equate you can do all types of photography, right?
That's
so you've
true.
got your nature.
Yes.
Big ups to the bridal photographers. Like,
no.
the wedding photographers, you guys are doing the most, right?
Right now, yeah.
And then you've got those that are like portrait studio. That's their thing.
Yes.
What is the photography you think you are the worst at? That you were just so bad that you wouldn't even accept the job?
I would not do boudoir photography.
What?
I would never.
Why?
I think it requires someone with an understanding of sensuality, and that's a very big thing.
So how sensual?
I don't think I understand the approach to it, because it's such a tactful thing that one wrong position could move from boudoir to an adult OnlyFans. There you go. So and I don't want to do that, because yes, it's very tactful. And one little thing can change the entire picture.
Yes.
And I don't want to put myself in that position. I think people who do it really well.
Yeah.
And they make it look so good. And you just sit there and you're like, you know what? You're good at that. And good for you. Kudos.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I thought you were going to say wedding.
No, weddings I love. I love weddings because I think I'm very good at capturing moments. So weddings become a place for me to play.
Yes.
Because I wait for the moment. I always say, like, for me, shooting moments is the best thing ever, because I can wait, and then capture the moment as it happens. And weddings have so many different aspects. You've got people sitting there smiling, the cousin, the little nudge here and there, the tear. Those are the things I'm looking at.
Yes.
Those are the things I enjoy. I'll sit there and I will wait for someone to smile for a minute, because they're about, someone just cracked a joke, and I just want to get that little moment and shoot between people. So those things I really enjoy. But weddings are fun. Like, literally, maybe not the tedious moments of trying to shoot the bride and the groom when they're late.
Yes.
And now you must make, the official pictures in 10 minutes because they all ran about 2 hours late. The guests were on time, but someone ran a bit late. So that's the one part that I don't enjoy.
Do you funeral photography?
No, I'll never do that.
So
I would never.
Have you never done a funeral gig?
No, I've never.
Like taking the widow crying?
I just don't think I can expose people to that.
Mm.
I don't find myself. It's almost like poverty porn in a way, because you're almost exploiting the moment, because it's right there. It's someone crying. What more can you do? You can't find anything else. It's sadness, it's sorrow. Like, I've had people try to book me during COVID. A couple of people try to call me to book me for, streams and all of this stuff. And I was like, look, guys, there might not be work here, but I don't think I can really exploit that. Like, it's not a thing that I am comfortable to do. I'm comfortable to do the happy things, but I don't think I can sit there, watch someone cry, and then I'm like, yeah, got the shot. I would rather do that on a set where it's for a different purpose. Because
I got you.
that's etched in your memory. You're also etching it in theirs, because you're going to share those photos after. And they're vulnerable at that moment. No way.
It's 2:30. When we come back, I'm going to ask Austin if he do a certain type of photography I did not mention. And we continue with the Upside of Failure. Time for your latest Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon. Chat to us about the National Dialogue.
Well, Relebogile, good afternoon. Organisers of the National Dialogue are aiming to speak to about 10 million South Africans by the end of that process. Today, the convention to National Dialogue kicked off at UNISA's main campus in Pretoria. Various public and private sector leaders are in attendance to chart a way forward on how the dialogues will be conducted throughout the country over the next few months. Police remain on high alert outside Mabotja Mall in Soweto following taxi-related violence this week. The tensions resulted in the death of an e-hailing driver outside the mall on Wednesday evening. Mthokozisi Mvelase was shot and his car set alight during the incident. And the DA in Tshwane says it will now turn its attention to communities across the city as it gears up to launch its campaign for next year's local government elections. With the elections expected late next year, the party aims to secure an electoral majority in the municipality. Those are the headlines. This EWN and more at 3 or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
In Katlong, heading towards Alberton, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is on Heidelberg Road between the N3 and Vereeniging Road. Also, slow-moving traffic. This is heading towards Benoni, leaving Brakpan on Rangeview Road between Dube and Tom Jones. There's also slow-moving traffic in the Sunwood Park area due to roadworks on Rondebold Road approaching the N17. Protea Glen, Soweto, we still have bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N12 westbound between the R554 Abu Bakr Drive and the R558, while in Sharon Lee, traffic is a bit sluggish on Malebogile Drive. That's between the Witkoppen Road and the N1. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702 delivers
On the matters that matter to you.
Hi, 702 listeners. My name is Paco from Kalinin. The one thing that I love about 702 is Bongani Bingwa.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
so we can deliver more on what matters to you.
702 listens.
Let's walk the talk.
Spar is turning up the value this week. Get ready for deals so good, they'll have you heading straight to your nearest Spar or Super Spar, because nothing says local love like stocking up and saving on essentials. From today until Sunday, Spar is dropping a massive Parmalat Everfresh UHT milk that's perfect for your pantry and your budget. Grab any 2 6-packs on special and keep those cereal bowls filled morning after morning. Stock up with up to 5 deals. That's 10 6-packs per customer. Deal excludes lactose-free variant and is only available at participating Spar and Super Spar stores in Jozi. Spar brings you fresh and convenient deals straight from the heart of your neighborhood and community.
Here at Betway, we're finding every way possible to make sure you can win your next sports bet. With our new Bet Saver feature, you could get your stake back or more on bets with multiple losses. Stand to win, even when your bet misses. Bet Saver, exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. South African Responsible Gambling Program toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Winners know when to stop.
At the heart of global conversations shaping our future, Africa's voice is more important than ever. As proud lead sponsor of the B20, the Standard Bank Group is honored to showcase the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Because driving Africa's growth growth isn't just our ambition, it's our purpose. Tune in every Monday from 3 p.m. for the Standard Bank B20 In Brief for key insights and updates around the B20. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Life is full of moments. Some are small.
Surprise, I got you a matcha latte.
Some are big.
Surprise, we're having twins.
For all those moments, there's the new Haval H6 SUV with a spacious interior and voice command. It's built for big moments. Get it from only 6,699 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM. Go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank, authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
My friend always says, not my problem, bro. But what if it was your sister, your mother, your daughter? Gender-based violence is everyone's problem. And good men don't look away. If you see abuse, don't be silent. Report it. Call the SA Police on 10111 or the GBVF Command Center on 0800 428 428. Strong men protect. Strong women stand up. Together, we can end gender-based violence and femicide. Break the vicious cycle. Act now. A message from Government Communications, the GCIS.
Franchise your future with the vision to invest, the mindset to follow a proven system, and the drive to grow something of your own. Meet the minds behind smart investments and proven franchise success on Franchise Your Future with me, Relebogile Mabotja, brought to you by Cash Converters on 702. Plus, you could win 10,000 Rand to kickstart your journey to franchise your future. Head primemediaplus.com now. Then, every Tuesday from 1 p.m., catch Franchise Your Future on afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja, brought to you by Cash Converters. Your money, your momentum. On 702, let's walk the talk.
Coming up
on 702 Drive.
702 Drive is coming up from 3 to 6 p.m. Tabo. Rangwani. Tabo is standing in for John Pillman. What's coming up on the show?
A couple of things, Relebogile. Thanks very much. And to your listeners as well, good afternoon. The city of Joburg now has just increased the number of its buses with about 10 buses in its fleet. And this is in the Rea Vaya fleet that you would know. And sadly, you'd remember that one of their drivers was also killed, allegedly by a taxi driver sometime earlier this year. So they are naming one of those buses after their now deceased driver. But this is very interesting because you'd know John was dealing with this issue last week, wherein he mentioned the fact that phase 1A, which covers Soweto mainly, Thokoza to Soweto, Thokoza to Braamfontein, Johannesburg route, that those buses were not roadworthy and they were taken off the roads. Now they have added 10 with a new company, Ditsamai. So that's one. And they will also look at the merging of municipalities. The Minister of Kokta has spoken about bringing some municipalities together in order to maximize from the resources and have them better managed. And we'll ask about that a little bit later on. But also there's a phenomenon, Relebogile, of former presidents of South Africa wanting to play a prominent role in current politics. Are they ruling from the grave? We hear from Thabo Mbeki, Jacob Zuma. It's like, guys, didn't you have your turn? And now you want to be very active once more. Of course, it's a democracy, but speak like Thabo and Relebogile on the sidelines. Stop wanting to occupy center space. But that's what other people will say, not me.
Oh.
It's just so that we are clear. I don't want Mr. Mbeki calling me and putting me in my place.
I was going to say, is it the same as you being head girl and then you keep going back to your old school to be like, I told you guys your hair must be in a pony. Like, how I graduated.
Yeah, well, something similar to that.
Maybe, here's the question. Maybe the question we should be asking is, what should post-presidency life look like?
Do you want to do the show today?
No.
I mean, really, I'm telling you what we're talking about. You bring your stuff here. Are you trying now?
I get you're saying that, but I get you're saying some people say they're being too busy.
Yeah.
Give them something to do. A post-presidency.
There is something like that, though. that keeps you busy,
Yeah.
the library, the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, and they're doing amazing work, especially
Yes.
on the continent. Beautiful work. So, I mean, now inserting himself in the mainstream narrative every single day, something is to be said about that. Ruling from the grave, it's what it's called.
Sounds personal, whoever
No,
feels like this.
no.
I'm not saying it's you who feels
Yes,
like this.
some people
Whoever,
would say
some
that.
people.
So, lastly, on a lighter note, we will ask a question, as we usually do. Things that you say but don't really mean. Like your jersey, Relebogile, it brings out the color of your eyes. Happy birthday. Oh, what a cute baby. Things that you say but you really don't mean. So, all of that and more between 3 and 6.
So the things that we say that we really don't mean, like, that was amazing, Thabo.
My cue to go.
702 Drive coming up from 3 to 6 p.m.
702.
The upside of failure.
Proof that a setback can lead to a step forward.
19 minutes to 3 o'clock. We continue the upside of failure with Austin Malema, who is in shock. 011 883 0702, the WhatsApp line 072 702 702. Why are you laughing, Austin?
Because I'm watching this interaction was a lot.
We have fun here. And we
definitely.
genuinely are all like friends with each other.
I love it. You can tell. The energy is real, it's not awkward.
So there's another photography that I think you would never do. I discovered it recently, and it is for parents whose babies are born sleeping. That's the term that they use. And they specialize specifically in coming in where you have a stillborn, and they dress the baby up so that you can have a family photo and pictures of the baby to remember the baby by. I feel like you'd never do that. And I also think you'd never do newborn photography.
Newborn, I would never do the first one, to be honest.
Your heart wouldn't be able to.
I don't think, as a parent, I don't think I would survive. I don't think I would survive. Newborn photography, I think, is something I could do if I put myself or applied myself to.
Yes.
I think I could do. And there's a lot of money in that, actually. Like, literally. And then you also make the baby's contour into weird positions.
Yes.
They say that when photographers do that, they tell the parents to leave the room because most parents think that you're going to break their baby.
Yes.
Because then you need to, make them look like contortionists.
Yes.
So I'm like, that I could definitely do. I just need to apply myself for a full year of learning. I can definitely do that.
No, but you know what they're also good at?
Yes.
Is they actually get the baby to fall asleep.
Yes.
And then put them in the position, and then like respect to those photographers. There's a question that came here which says, Lebo, good afternoon to you and your team, and your guest in studio. What does he think of analog for geography, and what does he also think about documentary photography? Has he done any exhibitions?
Oh, wow. That's 3 questions all in one.
Yes. So the first one, what do you think of analog for geography?
I think analog is great. Also, just in general, like for me, I still believe that analog photography is still great in different spaces, whether it's for geography or, for lifestyle, because there's a lot of guys who still shoot analog photography. So I think, it's not really dead, but there aren't as many people who are looking at it today because we're all looking at a quick return on what is it? What
investment,
do we call it?
ROI.
No, not even ROI. But again, when you see the results instantly, instant gratification.
Yes, instant gratification.
That's the word. Yes. So I think that's the one thing that has really taken away the fun in the work. But I really think analog photography is still an amazing art that people still practice and they still enjoy. And then what was the second and third?
The second question was, what do you think about documentary photography?
I think documentary photography is a powerful medium when it comes to photography, and a lot of people don't look at it as it should be and respected. But it's also because, photography has just become so digital today that you can see something that's amazing in the documentary space and then it's replaced by something tomorrow that you can't really, consume the work for what it's meant to do in terms of evoking emotions and making you move and feel a certain way. And I feel like we are getting more and more further away from feeling things because we're getting desensitized in terms of what we see on our devices. And I think what documentary photography did was told stories and made you feel and connect with specific ideas and specific struggles or specific things that were happening in the world. And now we're so desensitized to what's happening. When you look at, I open Instagram, you're seeing children in Gaza every day. And it's, at some point we will just see that as everyday news, right? And it won't matter as much. But if someone had done a documentary on that entire process and they took you through what had happened, you got to understand, what happened to these kids. And today you're seeing it live jive on your phone, and it kind of takes away from that entire experience. So I feel like documentary photography is something that's important, and I feel like in the next coming years it's going to be more important when we start getting away from these devices. I'm hoping where things to remind people of what has happened. It captures moments in history that people would have otherwise forgotten, but I feel like in today's world, we are slowly walking away from those things, which is not great.
And I mean, I was saying to somebody how the reason our generation is so nostalgic is because we have our photographs of us growing up are like pretty much non-existent. You're lucky if you have photographs of the different stages of your childhood and upbringing. And I feel like for us, our generation, we have a different love of pictures to the new generation because all they know are pictures.
Yeah, that's
and
very true.
they don't hold them dear. Like the fact that you can find that picture of your great-grandparents in black and white, and they had those weird straight faces because for some reason they never smiled. Like I remember looking at my grandparents' wedding day photo. I'm like, was it a miserable day?
Yeah, true.
There was like a
true.
certain style, and then we had that drum magazine era. And
yes.
I absolutely love that for us. But you are right, we're becoming so desensitized. And I think we are, read what my top says.
Overstimulated. That's
We
very
are.
true. We are.
We are so overstimulated to the point that it dilutes the good stuff.
Yes, it
The
does.
the photographs that you could stand and stare at for hours and just get lost in. Am I making sense?
You are making sense. And it's also just the world that we're in. I feel like the world has taken into this world of content that we now need to see what everybody's doing, that it's not worth it anymore. Like, even in photography, like I will do a beautiful photo shoot tomorrow and then I'm over it as well because I'm now thinking of the next thing. But 3-4 years ago, that was the only thing that I ever held on to for 2-3 months, but now I feel like there's so much happening in and around us that we are seeing new things. I always complain about event photography, where we do an event today and then tomorrow they've forgotten about it. But there was a point where, influencer photography and doing content for brands meant that if you did it today, it's going to be posted in the next week. It will last them a month. People will be talking about it. But in today's world, you go to an event today, you're going to 6 other events tomorrow. Which one do
And
you
not
really
just
remember?
that. I mean, the last event that you and I were at together, you did photographs. I'm sure by midnight the pictures were
Already out.
because everybody needed to post, if not that night, the next day. And then we've moved on to the next thing. We need to take a break in a moment. But before we take a break, knowing what you know and where you are at this stage in your career, you're also a business person. You have staff now, so it's not just about the art. It's like overheads and,
Yes.
oh my gosh, now there's a new camera we need to update to or maintenance. What does failure look like to you today compared to when you were a kid? Other than I want to be famous, which you are, not in the way you thought. But what does failure in relation to back then look like to you?
Oh my God, I think today failure to me looks very, very different. I think there are 2 big moments that I can highlight for you where I feel like I had failed, where I walked away from a business with 2 business partners. And that was purely because of, the business was doing really well. Like, most people walk away when the business aren't doing well, but the business was doing really well. But just the understanding from the business partners, and it's because I got into it very young and things were not done correctly. I didn't do my due diligence. I don't think any of us did our due diligence. We just walked into it and then we got into the business, right? And when things fell out, I had to walk away, and it felt like a very like a big part of my life where I feel like I failed and I failed myself. And then the second part was earlier this year, we did a very big job where, I've got a team that does most of the work in-house. And I felt like I needed something that's very different. And I approached someone else to do the job externally. And I feel like in that, I failed because I did not trust in my own team enough to have them do the work. But then, the work also was not delivered in the way that I thought it would be, which was really sad for me, because if I had just gone with my internal team, I still would have had a great result, and a result that I am proud of. And when I gave it to someone else, I never got the work delivered. I got excuses. Eventually, my team had to step in, and imagine now I skipped them to give the job to someone outside to do, and then now I have to go back to the team and be like, guys, this
Please
person
come
is not.
fix it.
Yes, come fix it. And it just shows you that sometimes we just don't value what we have in front of us as much as we should, because we look outside and we think that it's more appetizing.
We need to take a break. When we come back, we continue with the upside of failure.
Congratulations to the Powerball winner who won a massive jackpot of over 124 million rand on 5 August 2025. Here's what she said.
The national lottery changed his life. I won a mind-blowing jackpot over 124 million after playing through my banking app. I'm still speechless. Panda Pusha Play for your chance at life-changing jackpot.
Will you be the next big winner? Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 53 million rand in total estimated jackpots today to find out. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529 hash for USSD. Panda Pusha Play. Players must be 18 years old and play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
This Saturday, Siya Kolisi will lead the Springboks against the dangerous Australians at Ellis Park. Kick-off is at 5:10 p.m. and tickets are only available from Ticketmaster's website or app. Don't be scammed, guys. Various transport options include Park and Ride SA buses from various departure points, Gautrain and Prasa rail service. Private coaches can park at Park Station, Road Trip, Eastgate and St. John's. Shuttle service and private taxis are also available. Please visit lionsrugby.co.za for detailed information on the various available transport services, rates and operating times. Go Boca!
Year in, year out, we're fixing tires faster than a Formula One pit crew. My team is on top of things like tire whisperers. If an unforeseen accident were to happen in my workshop, at least I've got My Way business insurance to keep the wheels turning.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
This September, Joburg Theatre brings you a powerful mix of drama, music, and dance. Dancing the Death Drill, adapted from Fred Khumalo's acclaimed novel, tells the tale of Pito Mutaung, a South African soldier forever changed by the tragic sinking of the SS Mendi. The cast features Kwenzo Ngobo, Tuli Tabete, and Clint Brink, with choreography by Luyanda Sidia and original music by Msaki. This is a story of love, loss, and remembrance. Catch it from 9 to 28 September 2025 on the Mandela stage at Joburg Theatre. Dancing the Death Drill, a moment in history brought to life. Book now at joburgtheatre.com.
702.
The upside of failure.
Proof that a setback can lead to a step forward.
7 minutes to 3 o'clock. We're wrapping up our conversation with Mr. Austin Malema on the upside of a failure. And we take your calls 011 883 0702, the WhatsApp line 072 702 702. Have you ever photographed Julius Malema, your cousin?
I have.
You have?
I have photographed Julius.
Is he your cousin?
He's not my cousin. I don't know how we related. I think that's something that I actually have to speak to him about. But we are clan related. I don't know how. I know my mom got invited to one of his parties, so I think that's the thing. There was a big party that happened, and they were invited. I'm like, why was I not invited? Like, what's the point?
In terms of, I mean, we spoke about your recent projects and failure. When you look at your life, you're going to be heading towards 40. What do you think that next chapter looks like, and what would failure represent to you in that next chapter of where you want to go and grow as a person?
Failure would represent me not paying it forward. I think that's the simplest thing. I think we get into positions of privilege that we forget what it took for us to get there. So you always need to leave the door open for the next generation of people coming. And I think that I've done that pretty well with my business and also other people that I am in conversation with who are in the industry, who, ask questions, who I help, in terms of the businesses that they're bringing or building. So I sort of, feel like that has been my part to play, because when I got into where I am, someone allowed for me to get there. So I need to do the same for the next generation. And that would be failure for me if I fail to do that.
I think that is so beautifully said. Where are the women in photography?
That is a really great question. I feel like there is a very low representation of women in photography, especially in entertainment, to be honest. I think there's a very big opportunity for women to get into the space because the representation is always male. And I feel like we all fail to, bring the ladder down, either find the right people. I feel like I've done that before with 2 people only. And those are the people who were willing to come in and say, listen, this is what I want to do.
I'm going to
And
give
I'm
you
able
your
to-
first student.
You can definitely do that.
Your
I'm
first
happy.
student is our photographer, Disetso, who's in the booth right
She already
now.
has a job.
No,
That's the
she has a
problem.
job, but everybody needs upskilling, right? Disetso can't hear me. I know she's busy watching the cameras in there, but I'm committing her to 2 lessons with you.
I can definitely
and
do
to
that.
all the lady photographers or budding photographers, DM this man.
No, they must DM RTC Studios.
Yes,
not me.
RTC Sorry, his personal DMs are for other requests, but the RTC.
No.
Final question.
Yes, ma'am.
How has being a dad changed your photography?
Oh my God. I now take pictures on my phone, like real pictures, and I take dad photos. Like, I now treasure moments a lot more. And I'll be going to my son's concert or like school day, and I will take dad photos. I've got the cameras. I leave those things at home. I want to feel like a normal person when I am
Yes.
out and about with my kids. So now I treasure moments a lot more. Even with my daughter, like, I will be out and about and I'm just like, oh, here's a little cute moment. And then she'll also ask me, Daddy, please take a photo. And then
Yes.
now, it's made me treasure moments a lot. I treasured moments for a different reason
Yes.
because it was a job and I could excel in that and show how I see things. But now in my personal family, I do it differently because I don't have to be a professional anymore. I can just be.
I love you to bits. I love your work. Keep soaring.
Thank you.
Monako Venda.
Ke a leboha. Thank you for having me. Noribo.
Choose the best. The new Huawei Pura 80 series. The master of photography. A super sensor with precision zoom. Stay sharp from dawn to dusk with a superior 1-inch ultralighting camera and ultralighting macro telephoto lens. The master of color, enhancing every frame with vibrant color and incredible clarity. Tricky lighting? No problem. Take portraits against the light with every face perfectly illuminated. It's more than a phone. It's professional studio in your pocket. Go beyond with Huawei Pura 80 series.
Whether it's thin crust, deep dish, or wood-fired, your pizza place makes every slice perfect. From the first bite of melted cheese to the last crunchy edge, it's comfort and celebration all in one. Maybe it's family night, a casual catch-up, or your go-to takeaway. They never disappoint. Now's your chance to say, I see you. Vote for your favorite in Gauteng's greatest pizza place category at primemediaplus.com. Voting closes on the 27th of August. Make it count, because Gauteng isn't just the hub of business. It's the home of excellence, and excellence deserves your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko. Let Yoko counter-fuel your business to greatness. Go to yoko.com to explore the new point of sale solution, saving hundreds of businesses time and money.
To live wealthier, you need to be able to grow your assets. At Standard Bank Private, you get a team of internationally acclaimed financial experts to advise you on local and global investment strategies. Plus, being with a leader in home loans, you can start expanding your property portfolio. So, come live wealthier with Africa's best private bank. Apply online at standardbank.co.za. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Celebrate Women's Month in style with Hollywood bets and Spinner Zonke. Take fearless shots at fantastic fortunes with our special selection of fierce female-themed games. Kick back, relax, and entertain yourself with the ultimate slot escape. Let Heart of Rio put you in a carnival mood. Indulge in anime fantasy with 9 Tails, or embark on fire-breathing adventures in Dragon Kingdom. Supercharge your slots and bet now. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
Thank you for joining us on 702 Afternoons. We are back on Monday. Have a beautiful weekend. It's 3 o'clock.
This is EWN.
President Ramaphosa wants South Africans to ask the difficult questions, and could there be an end to the war between Russia and the Ukraine? Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini.